This video is sponsored by Storyblocks. Take a look at this Newcastle shirt on eBay. On the back, it says Muniez, number 26, and yours for $160 US. Not exactly pocket change, but here's the thing. Santiago Muniez never played for Newcastle. In fact, he never played professional football at all. He was a fictional character from a 2005 film called Goal, and somehow, even today, his name still echoes with football fans around the world. It was a football movie that was unlike any other at the time. Shot in real stadiums, featured real players. It all felt authentic. For some, it was the gateway drug to football itself. 2 decades later, the film still lives on old DVDs and streaming platforms, and the shirts are still being bought and sold for serious money. But here's the kicker. Goal was actually backed by Adidas, and to this day, it's one of the biggest ever deals between a corporate sports brand and a film studio. In fact, it laid the blueprint for football media that came after. So how did a corporate deal with Adidas help make a movie that united a generation of football fans around the world? And how does that movie still impact the world of football today? This is Football Explained. Before the aura farming reels and breaking transfer news through tweets, there was the early 2000s. For many, football back then felt raw. Kits were baggy, boots were chunky, and players had personalities that weren't entirely curated by PR teams. And European football leagues were becoming increasingly popular. But for fans outside the continent, especially in places like Kenya, India, or the Philippines, football still felt distant. Forget social media. If you were a football fan back then, the only way to stay in the loop was through a football show on cable or newspapers. And if you were dreaming to become a professional player, that is a dream from another planet. Then came Goal. It told the story of Muniez, a Mexican immigrant from Los Angeles. Muniez worked as a gardener by day and chased football dreams by night. Through pure chance, he gets spotted by a former Newcastle player and offered a trial in England. The journey that follows is messy and emotional, and it felt familiar to anyone who had ever played on uneven pitches or been told they weren't good enough. Muniez wasn't born into privilege. He had asthma, he faced rejection, he struggled to adapt, but he kept going. For young football fans across the world, this story felt personal. It showed that talent could be found anywhere, and that football's magic wasn't reserved for those already inside the elite system. It gave shape to a simple truth. You don't have to be born in Madrid or Manchester to dream big. That line echoed far beyond the cinema, and the timing couldn't have been better. The 2000s was when football became truly immersive. For the first time in history, you could play football wearing kits and the boots used by the professionals. You would then come home and play a game of FIFA on your console or family PC, and then turn on the telly and watch a live game on cable. And Goal was the missing piece in a growing football universe. TV, video games, real kits, and now cinema. And one company saw the potential before anyone else. Later in the video, we'll see how Adidas helped bring Goal to our screens. But if you want to bring your creative vision to life, Storyblocks can help you do that. Many of you compliment our editing style, and a big reason is that Storyblocks helps us stay creative. For example, if we wanted to use a drone shot of a football stadium, all we have to do is type it in and download a few to choose the one we feel is right. And if we think that doesn't fit, that's fine, because you get unlimited downloads of diverse and high-quality media for one predictable subscription cost. This gives us the freedom to test, experiment, and create more without worrying about hidden fees. And there's plenty to choose from too, because everything you need is in one place. 4K and HD videos, templates, music, sound effects, images, and more. And because the library is created by real artists, the stock feels authentic, helping you tell more powerful stories. So if you want to save time and elevate your videos, definitely check them out. Get 2 extra months free when you sign up for an annual plan. Go to storyblocks.com/Plantic and take advantage of this limited time offer. Thanks to Storyblocks for sponsoring this segment of the video. Now, back to the story. Check out this promotional poster for Goal. The 3 stripes is incredibly prominent. Even here, when the track pants are barely visible, the stripes poke out, and that's by design. In 2003, a $50 million partnership between Adidas and the filmmakers behind Goal was hailed as the biggest alliance between a corporate brand and a film studio. To this day, it remains one of the boldest experiments in football storytelling. But here's the thing, the story that led to the 3 stripes is a movie in and of itself. The production was chaotic. nearly derailed by the wrong director and no distribution deal in place. Most films don't survive that. Goal did, but only just. And at the centre of it all was Mike Jeffries, a Liverpool fan who wanted to make football's version of Rocky after he saw Liverpool's UEFA Cup final win in 2001. His dream was to put Liverpool at the heart of the film, so he pitched it in the Anfield boardroom, in the same room where his childhood heroes had signed their contracts. But the meeting flopped. The club's hierarchy shrugged him off. The very next day, Manchester United was pitched the story, and they welcomed him with open arms. Within the month, Jeffries had meetings set up with Sir Alex Ferguson and other execs of the club. United were ready to make it their film, but eventually Jeffries couldn't take it. As a die-hard Liverpool fan, he would rather kill the project than let Goal become a Manchester United commercial. In Jeffries' own words, "I just felt sick to my stomach." And that's when the Magpie swooped in. And suddenly, the project had a home, St James's Park. With Adidas already being the club's kit manufacturer, they were ready to pour in the money and bring in the connections. Others like Coca-Cola and Disney came on board along with FIFA, and that gave Goal the kind of access that made the film like no other at the time.
I mean, the deal with Adidas was huge for the film because what it did straight away, it came with access to players, access to the Champions League rights with all the music and everything like that, access to the grounds that were needed to film it. And not only that, it certified the film, it gave the whole thing credibility. And it was the first time in history that filmmakers had access, that kind of access to the football world.
That was Andy Ansar, ex-professional footballer who is now a significant name in the world of football media. He has worked with some of the biggest names in football and was also a part of Goal. We had a chat with him to get a bit more insight into the film.
During the game of Newcastle first team, at the very end of the game, we were able to run Santiago Munez and the other player on the pitch, and they were clapping the fans like they had played the real game, and they were walking off with the real players. And fans were just clapping them, thinking, who are these people?
In fact, at Madrid, Kuno Becker even played in a pre-season friendly, ending up circled in the back page of Marca with the headline, "Who?" Goal created this halfway world between fiction and reality, a world where Beckham and Zidane, who by the way were Adidas ambassadors, could shake hands with Santiago Munez.
On training days, I would be on the pitch, sitting in the stand watching training sessions. You've got Zidane, Ronaldo Nazario, you've got Roberto Carlos, David Beckham, Guti, just sitting around. They'd be pinging balls around. We'd be laughing and joking. Even on match days, I could just walk through the tunnel. I could go anywhere I wanted. The way we filmed Champions League games, we had all our cameras up. They'll play a Champions League game, and all the boards are special boards for Champions League games. And it weren't electric balls like it is now. But what Real Madrid would do was keep them up for 2 days. We had an agreement with the Champions League, whereby we could film with them for 2 days, 2 nights. It was night shoots, and then they'll take them away.
And the budget allowed the film to feature songs by Oasis and Kasabian too. These weren't just any songs. They were football-adjacent tunes that you would hear in the opening of a Premier League match. So when you heard the opening riff of Morning Glory, behind the backdrops of Munez's first game for Newcastle United, you knew goosebumps were guaranteed. And Adidas was present inside that reality, not just pasted on top of it. When Santiago laced up his F50s, the boots matched the time, the club, and the players around him. That seamless alignment was the masterstroke, because even now, nearly 2 decades later, football fans still talk about it. If nothing else, it proved one thing: this film left an imprint on football culture that refuses to fade. Before Goal took its shot, there had been other cult football films that left a mark. Bend It Like Beckham in 2002 broke into the mainstream with charm, cultural commentary, and a title that rode on a superstar's name. Shaolin Soccer in 2001 blended slapstick, martial arts, and surreal goals that bent the laws of physics. Both captured imaginations. But what made Goal unique is how it impacted football itself. The film became so iconic that it even influenced Newcastle United's real-life transfers, with players openly citing the movie as a reason why they joined the club. Jonas Gutierrez in 2008, Masadio Haidara in 2013, Isaac Hayden in 2016, Islam Slimani in 2018, and here's Callum Wilson in 2020.
It's a massive club, you know, even from the film Goal that my son watches, you know, he even wanted me to come here, so he was one of those.
Since the release, over the span of 2 decades, it's still influencing football fans and players. Despite the failure of the last film of the trilogy, the legacy never dimmed. In fact, Many argue that it has directly opened doors for all kinds of football films and documentaries in recent times. Today, series like Ted Lasso, Welcome to Wrexham, and growing roster of football dramas have proven there's a hunger for stories from the game's heart.
So my company did Ted Lasso 1 and Ted Lasso 2 as well, because I look at Ted Lasso and you look how well that did. And that was I call it again a mockumentary. It opened the doors without a shadow of a doubt. Go open the doors. But what the audience want to see more of, what happened behind that, what we see on screen. And the stories behind it, honestly, there's millions of stories. So there's still so much more to come.
Goal never won over the critics. The box office was modest at its best. Its afterlife tells a different story. Scroll through any YouTube comment section about the film and you'll see the proof. Comments about nostalgia, how it turned them into a Newcastle fan, and how Santiago Munez is a hero. Because Goal captured something football fans quietly crave: the belief that the game could pluck you from nowhere and drop you under the floodlight, with the crowd singing your name. The film may not have gotten the raving reviews the makers hoped for, but what it gave a generation of fans was something far bigger. Proof that their dreams had a place on the pitch. Because what is football if not for scripts written under floodlights?
I think it's an exciting project, and two, it's football. So the acting comes sort of naturally on the field for me. So it's still nerve-wracking. It's still nerve-wracking being part of a big film like this, because I'm not an actor. I've never wanted to act and never probably will act. But to do something like this in a football movie, I think it's special.